they're separated inside that's displaced, compression fracture. Now, I will tell you the fracture that I have most direct experience with is not me, but my daughter fell off the jungle gym, and she told the teacher her wrist hurt a whole lot. Right? And the teacher didn't take her seriously, and it kept hurting more and more through the day. And so finally, I got a call saying she was taken to the hospital with some kind of injury. So I got to the hospital. They had taken an X-ray, and the X-ray physician knew that I taught A&P. So he said, "What do you say? How's that look to you?" So here's what I saw, and we're talking about the radius. And when you see a broken wrist, 70% of the time it's part of the, what bone of the wrist? That little boat-shaped bone? Scaphoid. Wrist.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so here, is what I saw. Now, I said, I don't see a fracture. He said, that's what you're thinking. Okay. And actually, see this? And a little bump over there. What happened is the shaft was compressed. This is a compressed fracture. And it's so common, it has a name. Collier, I think. Isn't that it? Yeah. Coles. And except, okay, it's next to the right hand one, Coles fracture. And it classically happens when you fall with an extended arm, and it shoves the shaft of the radius into the epiphysis of the radius. Okay, well, they didn't even put her in a cast, but they did have her arm wrapped up. Again, this is painful, and so long as it has not the worst thing is if you damage the epiphyseal cartilage. Why? Why would that be a problem? What? Stunts growth. Exactly. And especially if you do it of the tibia or the femur, that person is liable to have a limp for the rest of their life because the bone will not elongate secondary endochondroalgitis. Okay, so this should wait. All right. Okay, let's go now. The bone to which the distal femur articulates is the tibia. And we're going to draw two bones side by side. And we're going to start what do you think this is? Distal end of the femur. Here is the tibia. And again, this is we're still doing the right hand side here. And the tibia tibia means?
Flute.
Flute.
Wondering why you kind of
What's this bone? tibia. The ancients would take the tibia is a nice, long, hollow bone, cut it out, put some holes in it. So, look. Now, now we're ready for the intercondylar eminence. And you can see it on here. Look at that big guy. That's where the cruciate ligaments attach. And we're going to be talking about the medials. We're going to make big use of that. There is a very prominent tuberosity here. Patellar tuberosity. I mean tibial tuberosity. And what does tuber mean? Actually, you can either have that as a B or an M. Bump. Tibial tuberosity. We have some very prominent medial and lateral condyles. Now, here is an important hint for you to tell me. Everybody's probably going to say, "Oh yeah, that's the tibia. That's easy." But to get full credit, what else do you have to say? Right or left. Now, here's the crazy thing. This hard lump. Feel down on the inside of your ankle. Feel that lump?
Mm-hmm.
Feel like a little hammer? If you hit it on something, that is the medial malleolus. Less likely to hit the medial lateral malleolus. Oh man, that hurts like a son of a gun. That's this one out here. Now we're not there yet. That's a different bone. And we're going to draw it in here. Medial malleolus. Okay, oh, I started there. So this is the lateral epicondyle. Don't look like knuckles to me, but they still call them condyles. What do you think the purpose of those kind of smooth surfaces are? Here's a hint.
Good.
Articulation.
Articulation with the femoral condyles. Very important joint, need I say. So which condyle is this one?
Medial.
Medial. Now, there is a sharp ridge that runs right straight down the front of your tibia. The anterior crest, you can feel that. What do you call that? Feel
Shins.
That? Your bone is about that far away from the surface of the skin, and it will let you know, it'll be very pissed off at you if you hit it hard. It will let you know, don't do that anymore. So this is the anterior crest. So we got condyles, okay. Those are the parts of the tibia. Now, there's a second bone. Now there is a parallel here. In the arm, in the upper appendicular skeleton, you got one bone and two bones. In the lower appendicular skeleton, one bone and two bones. This second bone is a long, skinny-ass bone. Look how thin. You know, I could never figure out. If I were designing this, I'd put the big, strong bone on the outside. I don't know. There's a reason they didn't, whoever they are.
mess up my whole picture.
There.
I'm just gonna make a tiny
Now,
little
I
one
caution you,
here.
it is so easy to mix and match these terms. Tibia, 5 letters. Fibula, is it 6? Thank you. Yeah, that's 6. Fibula means brooch. Brooch. B-R. Brooch. I had to look up how to spell brooch this morning.
Brooch.
Brooch. Now, what's a brooch? Well, actually, they're talking about the clasp of a brooch. In fact, the little pin on your belt buckle, that also is a fibula. And the clasp that you tie, that you fasten the brooch on, they're really talking about the clasp, but they call it. And I guess because you could use this, I don't know, I got time. Now, these are attached together with a special kind of joint. We're going to talk about it. And look how this fits in here. It is kind of sexy. Well, I don't know how sexy it is. There it is. That's it. See that? It just tucks underneath the medial epicondyl on the top and tucks into this little groove right here. And that forms, the 2 bones together form a little cup. Guess what's going to fit in that cup?
The ankle.
The ankle. Okay. So, if this was the medial malleolus, what's that? Yeah.
So did you ever tell us how to distinguish between right and left? Is it the direction?
Oh, you betcha. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what part of this from the back of the room can you see that might be an indicator? What's this? Malleolus. What malleolus?
Medial.
Medial. If this is medial, this is right. Okay. So, if the medial malleolus from the front is on the right, it's the right. And I'll show you here on this baby.
How do you tell what the front of the bone is?
What's this big bump?
Tibial tuberosity.
Tibial tuberosity.
Okay.
No, we haven't talked about what it's for yet. Anybody know what it's for? The attachment of a very important ligament, the one that allows you to kick. Patellar ligament. It also, if you're testing for reflexes, you have that. Okay, that's the patellar ligament. It inserts into the tibial tuberosity. So that's the front.
Okay.
Also, if you look, I mean, the front has a different rounded appearance. The back looks more square. And in all honesty, I know I'm a mean guy, but I don't think I would show you the posterior. Now that you've mentioned.
So
All right.
on the test though, are you gonna give us pictures or are you gonna hold the bone up? Because I feel like
Yeah,
it'd be
one of those two.
a lot easier if you just held the bone up.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might
Bone
be-
it is. But then I have to walk around.
What might be
Poor
really
me.
hard to tell in a picture.
For you.
All right. Next. Oh, these are, by the way, interosseous ligaments.
Oh.
Band, sorry. What is interosseous? Between the bones. This is a nearly immovable joint. It's a joint because there's 2 bones joined together.
What?
But we're going to do a little bit.
Where did you put that?
It's where the fibula connects
All right.
with the tibia.
So I did want to show you again. Oh, we've got this guy. Got to protect this joint. What's that?
Tell
Patella. Okay, sorry. Untuck my shirt. Patella. Literally means little hand. Okay. It is a sesamoid bone.
This is interosseous. How do you spell it?
I don't know.
What do you think that means? It's like a sesame seed. Sesamoid bones are kind of floating bones. They're embedded in dense, regular connective tissue and typically at joints that are under stress or need protection. And the largest, most prominent sesamoid bone is the patella. And here it is covering. Look, if you didn't have the
I
sesamoid
missed
bone,
it.
that would be really big, wide open space between the tibia and the tibia. All right.
Did you say that was in dense regular or dense irregular connective tissue?
I should have said dense regular.
Okay, I just couldn't remember what you said.
Okay. Because it's related to tendons and ligaments. Yeah.
The term, I don't know how to spell it, is the interosseous. It's the.
Interosseous
How do you spell that?
B-A-N-D.
Oh, I mean interosseous.
Inter, I-N-T-E-R, osseous, O-S-S-E-U-S.
Thank you.
Between the bones, yeah. Little pan, or little skillet. Okay, now, I did want to show you here. Here is the right tibia. Here is the, what is this bone?
Fibula.
Fibula. Okay, we're going to practice this because somebody, and I'm not going to say it, but somebody's going to mix and match, and that's going to cost you.